Fundamental rights and duties. What are fundamental rights? Fundamental rights means the rights which are given to us for our betterment are called as fundamental rights. Rights which help the people to get equality, to get freedom, to protect them from any type of exploitation, that are called as fundamental rights. These fundamental rights are given in our constitution. Constitution, as you know, is a set of written rules and regulations which are meant for everyone living in the country, whether they are the citizens, whether they are the government, whether the government at the any level. And in our constitution, a chapter which is given, that is fundamental rights and duties, that are very important. And fundamental rights are meant for the citizens, so that the citizens can enjoy their freedom and they can contribute for the betterment, for the development of the country. The fundamental rights which are granted to us by constitutions are right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, right to constitutional remedies, and right to primary education. Now, the first one is right to equality. Right to equality means what? Every citizen is equal before the law. Means during the time of the Britishers, whether the Indians did any wrong thing or not, in every manner, every time only Indians got the punishment. Indians were exploited during the time of the Britishers. And when our country got independent, the very first thing the constitution has provided, that is to give equal rights, equality before everyone. Equality to everyone before the law. And that is how this right to equality help us to get justice from the court. No one can discriminate anyone on the basis of any type of differences. Means that is of religious, caste, gender, language, culture, faith, any type of differences, whatever is present in our country. Any citizen who breaks the law is punished. Means anyone who will go against the law, those who will break the law given in the constitution, that person will be punished. Untouchability is declared as illegal and punishable. Anyone who will discriminate anyone or other person on the basis of caste, if they will not allow the lower caste people to enter in the temple or to use the public places, that person will be punished. Because today, everyone, whether they belong to the lower caste or the upper caste, everyone is equal before the law. All Indian citizens are entitled to equal rights and opportunities. Means whatever resources are available, whatever things are available in our country, we have got full equality to do the job of our own choice, to use the raw materials available in the country, to utilize every opportunity whatever is present for us. The government had also started giving some of the titles. The first one is, that is the civilian titles like Bharat Ratna, Padma Vibhushan, and so on. These civilian titles or the awards are awarded to those who have served the nation, those who have helped the country in the difficult situation. That is not necessary that the persons belong only to the defense services. They are the normal public. If you will do any good thing, if you will show the bravery, if you will do any good thing, then you will also be able to get the honor. Other title is, that is the military awards or the military titles like Paramveer Chakra, Kirti Chakra, and so on. The military awards are given only to the defense personnels for showing bravery in the war, for showing bravery in the difficult situations. But These titles do not give the recipient any special privileges. Means those who are getting the civilian award or the military award, they are also treated as equal to the other citizens of the country. They are not getting any special type of privileges from the government side. To give equality to everyone, our constitution has reserved some seats for those who were exploited in the past. Like if we see the history, if we see the past, we find that scheduled caste or the scheduled tribes were called as the lower caste people and they were exploited by the upper caste. They were not allowed to take the water from the well which was meant for the upper caste. Even on the river side, on the river bank also, they were not allowed to take bath which was meant for the upper caste. Their children were not allowed to go to the school. They were not allowed to enter in the temple. Means everywhere they were exploited from by the upper caste. In order to give them equal status after the independence, the government had reserved seats for them in the schools, in the offices, or in the government institutions, or we can say in the parliament, in at the state, in the state assembly or the local government. Everywhere the seats are reserved for them so that they can also get a chance to make betterment, to improve their economic condition, or to make their situation better in the society. Now, our second right is right to freedom. Right to freedom, it is called as a group of different type of freedoms or the rights. Like freedom of speech and expression means what? Everyone living in country are free to give speech. They are free to present their views and opinions. They are free to criticize the government. They are free to participate in the uh, assemblies. They are free to assemble anywhere. They can deliver their speech there, but that should be in a peaceful manner. See, whenever we are getting the rights, there are some restrictions with the rights. Like I said, freedom of speech and expression, so you are free to express your views and opinions, but you are not allowed to use abusive word for others. You are not allowed to say wrong thing about the others unless and until the other person has done something wrong for you, said wrong for you. Second is said you are free to assemble anywhere, you can deliver your speech, but that assembly should be in a peaceful manner without any arms. You are free to form the free associations and unions, but the associations and the unions should be on in a peaceful manner. People are free to move in any part of India, but then whenever we are moving to the other states, we have to give respect to the law or the order set by the state governments. We are free to go to the see the historical places, but we have to protect our heritage. We have no right to destroy that heritage. We have no right to write anything on the walls or the trees or any of the thing. Freedom to reside and settle in any part of India. You are free to get education anywhere. You are free to settle down in any part of India. You are free to do job in any part of India. But you have to follow the rules and the regulations set by the government. Freedom to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade or business. Means you are free to do the work of your own choice. You can start your business anywhere. You can open your bank account anywhere. You will get the justice. But at the same time, there are restrictions. You are not supposed to misuse any of your rights. What I said, the right to freedom is not absolute, it has some restriction. Just now I said, you are not allowed to use abusive words without any reason. The gathering should be in a peaceful manner. Wherever you are settled down, you have to follow the rules or the orders set by the particular state government. Now, we have got freedom in our country, but there are certain restrictions on the state in the northeastern and in Jammu and Kashmir. Yes, I know Jammu and Kashmir now the rules are changed, but earlier there were the restriction that the people living in other part of India, they were not allowed to settle down in Jammu and Kashmir, not allowed to start trade from that area. Now the rules are changed. The same thing is here in northeastern also, and the government has restricted those areas just to provide security to all the citizens living in the other part of India. The right to freedom also protects citizens from injustice, sorry. The right to freedom also protects citizens from injustice. A citizen cannot be punished for a crime unless proved guilty in a court of law. A person cannot be punished more than once for the same crime. Means here we have got the right for the protection of our own life. If the police had arrested any of the person, then the person has got a right to ask the question, show the warrant, arrest warrant, why they have come to arrest that particular person. And the person cannot be kept in the prison more than 24 hours. Within that 24 hours, the police authorities have to present that person before the magistrate. And if the person has been proved guilty of the crime, then the person will be punished. Otherwise, the authorities have to release the person from the jail. A person cannot be punished more than once for the same crime. It means for the same crime, the person will get only one punishment. Now, our next right is right against exploitation. This is very important right. And this right is meant to provide safety to the people or to the citizens from being forced to work against their wishes. Like child labor, very common thing. Now the government has put a ban on child labor, and anyone who will employ a child below 14 years in mines, factories, or if forcefully they make them to work for others, then that will be regarded as a crime, illegal work, and the owner will be punished by the law. Second is begari or bonded labor. Begari or bonded labor means what? When the British rule was there, when India was not a free country, then that time the landless laborers were there in the villages. They were forced by the zamindars, money lenders, or the wealthier section to work on their land without any wages. Without any wages, they worked there, but they were not given any wages for them. And that was very, we can say that was a real type of exploitation which was done in the villages. Now, take one example. If a person, an illiterate person living in the village, if the person has taken 10 rupees loan from a money lender, because the person was illiterate, he had no such idea ki what is written in the paper. So the person has taken 10 rupees and the money lender had written on the paper ki the XYZ, the person has taken 100 rupees. That was the exploitation. He was not knowing ki on the paper it was written 100 rupees. He thought I have taken 10 rupees, so after 1 month, after 2 months, I will return back that 10 rupees to the money lender, and then I will be free from the loan, burden of the loan. When when he went to the money lender in order to return the 10 rupees, money lender said, why you are giving only 10 rupees? On the paper it is given you have taken 100 rupees from me. And whatever little land or the things were there with that poor person, that were forcefully taken by the money lender. And then the person was forced to work on the land of money lender without any wages. That was called as begari, means work without wages. In other language, that is also called as the bonded labor. Now, after the independence, the bonded labor or begari system has totally come to an end. And it is said that those who will work on the land of other, those who will work for the others, it becomes the duty of the owner to give them some wages. Now, the next right is right to freedom of religion. India is a country which is called as full of diversity, and our constitution has declared India as a secular country. In India, the people, those who are living, they are followers of different religions: Islam, Christianity, Buddhist, Jainism, Hindus, so many are there. And our government has given freedom to everyone to follow their own religion. People are free to impart education related to their religion to their children. Even people are free to construct the buildings related to their faith. Somewhere the people are also changing their religion, and that freedom also we have got from the constitution. Means in India, full freedom is given to all the religious group to live according to their own wish. There is no state or the official religion. And the institutions or in the government offices, no one can discriminate anyone from giving admissions or from giving job on the basis of religious differences. If anyone will do this type of thing, then they will punished by the law. Now, our next right is right to constitutional remedies. The fundamental rights are justicable. Means what? If any authority will put a ban on your fundamental right, if they are not giving you the fundamental rights, you can appeal in the court. The fundamental rights, or we can say the constitutional remedies, are very important. The courts are there who will help us to get our rights back. Even the courts can issue the writs, orders to the government, notices to the government, or any of the organization or institution who are not giving rights to the employees. Why? Because the courts are the guardian of our fundamental rights. In every normal time period, if any of our fundamental rights are violated, then we have the right to get it back. But whenever there is emergency time, then all our fundamental rights are taken up by the government, and then that is called the emergency time, and then we cannot appeal in any of the court. And as the crisis ends, as the emergency is over, then automatically we get back our fundamental rights. Now, the last right is right to primary education. The children, those who are of the age between 16 and 14 years, the government has said to give them free primary education. It is compulsory for them to send them to school and then to get them educated. And if they are not doing that one, it is also like a crime. So it becomes very important for every child to go to the school to get education, and after getting the primary education, everyone will be able to know about their rights, about their duties, about the exploitation, and so on. So after knowing our fundamental rights, the people are able to live in a nice manner. Thank you. Hope you like my video.